Hi, welcome back to the channel. It's been a little while since I posted a video, so sorry about that. Today, as you can see, we're going to be talking about a Citizen watch, but I think most of my previous watch reviews or talks or whatever have been on automatic watches and mostly AliExpress watches. I think there were one or two Casios in there that were not automatics. And I've kind of gotten off the automatics because I got tired of, I guess, just picking up a watch and having to set it and wind it or whatever needs to be done before I could wear it. So I remember that I had, well, I didn't remember, but I have a couple of Citizen watches that I've had for maybe 15 to 20 years that are the Eco Drive watches. And I remember that you can just pick those up. They're still running. They're on time. The dates are there, unless of course there was maybe a wrong setting in the perpetual calendar. But for the most part, everything was ready to go. You just grab it and go because it had a movement that was powered by light. So I decided, this year I'm going to start looking at a lot more of the solar powered watches or watches that are not automatics, quartz watches, but that don't require batteries. So my few watch purchases so far this year have been either Citizen Eco Drives. And another thing we'll get into that on this watch, or Casio Solars. So this is the Citizen Promaster Motorsport, which is model CB, like Charlie Brown, 5034-58L. And I've had my eye on this watch for a while. It was at the local Costco. That's really the only place I've seen it is at Costco's. Online, obviously, there's some used ones at eBay, and they always say they're returns. So I assume they're Costco returns that eBay wholesalers have gotten, or people that buy Costco returns have gotten a hold of and are selling. So I've had my eye on this watch. Last year, like I said, I was buying mostly automatics, and so I didn't buy this watch. Also, it's a little complicated for me, but I decided to go for it. And the main reasons why I wanted this watch are, one, it's Eco Drive. So there's no battery, and I've had great experience with my previous Eco Drive watches. Two is this is radio controlled, so this will set every night. It will sync itself up to the atomic clock, which is in Fort Collins, Colorado, and I'm in Southern California, so I do get the time every night. The way you can tell is there's a button on here that tells you if it's synced or not, and we'll get into that. And then the third reason I wanted this watch is it's sapphire crystal, because I have I have a habit of banging my watches on tables, doorknobs, just about anything, so I get scratches pretty easy. So, anyway, like I said, this is the Citizen Promaster Motorsport, and I have not seen any really real reviews for this online. I've seen a lot of places where they say they're a jewelry store or a watch store, and then they just turn the watch around while music plays in the background. They don't really talk about it at all. So, I decided to pick one up and share it with you guys. I don't think this is a current model. It seems like it's probably going away on the Costco website. I think it's a wall supplies last type of item, but that doesn't mean it's not a great watch. So some the features on this watch are it has a stainless steel bracelet, and I really like the alternating brushed and stainless steel. So it's a really good looking bracelet in my opinion. The case is mostly brushed, but you see the polished edges. That's what I meant to say. It's brushed and polished. So you see the polish on the inside, and it's brushed on the outside, and on the sides it's brushed. So stainless steel bracelet is water resistant to 200 meters, more than I'll ever put it to the test with. Maybe at the river, or I don't know, when we go kayaking, something like that. It's not going to get too submerged. It does have a chronograph, like I mentioned earlier, and it's a 1-second chronograph, so it's not one of those fancy millisecond chronographs. But again, chronograph for me is irrelevant. I don't think I'll ever use it. Has a perpetual calendar, so if you set it to the right year, it's going to keep with the leap years. It's going to keep with the months that have 31 days in it. Trying to get a good close-up on it here, but not having good luck with the zoom. And then it's a day-date watch. I really like the way where they put the date complication. The days are along here. It's on Sunday here, and then it goes Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday, etc. And I like the complications when they're not just at the 3 o'clock. I really like them when they're somewhere else, which I think I mentioned that in my previous videos. And then it does have a power reserve indicator too, and I believe this has up to a 10-month power reserve. So if I push this button here, it's going to tell you the power reserve level, which is high. And then this is pointing to that it received the atomic clock signal. Boy, I wish I could get it to focus. So then it just jumped back to keeping time now. And I like that the second hand hits the markers every time. This is a really good movement. again, it's a Citizen watch, so you know it's a good watch. You have your controls here, your pushers. You can set daylight savings, so if you pull this one out and you're on set, you pull this one out, you can change it to yes or no for daylight savings. So that's another feature. It has world time. If I could get it to focus, which I can't, you would see the cities all around the bezel, or the inside of the bezel, pardon me. And so you could change it to whatever time zone you're in. And then, of course, being on the atomic clock, it's going to automatically sync when you go there. I love the color scheme, the blue with the stainless steel accents on those smaller subdials, the applied indices. I haven't checked the lume yet. The second hand is nice. It's red. It stands out. They put a little red here on. It's tachymeter, but again, I'm not going to have anything to do with that. It's a Motorsports watch, Promaster Motorsports. You know, an amazing thing about this watch compared to my other Citizen watches is the clasp. A lot of my Citizen watches, which I'm wearing one now, and I'll show you in a minute. Look at this clasp. It's a really well-milled, beautiful clasp when it comes together like that. You got the double lock. You do have some micro adjustments, which is nice. This has not been sized yet because it has a pin and collar adjustment, which I don't feel confident in doing that. I'm sure I'll lose one of the collars when I pop it out. There's a shot on the wrist. It's a 45 millimeter diameter dial, or width case, 45 millimeter width on the case. I have a 7-inch wrist. In this camera, it looks a little big, but I don't think it's that big. I think it's quite comfortable, actually, for me. And then it's 12.5 millimeters thick. So while it looks thick here, it doesn't wear thick. Going back to the clasp, you can see it has this really great milled clasp. And I'm wearing another Citizen watch, which I'll bring to the channel shortly. I'm just trying to get some experience with it, which has just the cheap stamped clasp. This is titanium, but still, every other Citizen I have has these same cheap stamped clasps. They have never failed, but they're just cheap looking. This is the Tsukiyomi moon phase watch, which I'll bring to you later. Right now I'm just trying to get to know it a little bit. So I gave you all the specs on this watch. It's a nice watch. I haven't worn it yet because, again, I'm testing the other one out right now. So give me another month or so and we'll bring a full review on how this wears and works on the channel. I can tell you that I had no problem syncing to the atomic clock where I live, which is good, because that's the main reason I got it. This year I'm on the solar-powered radio wave or atomic clock, radio-controlled, whatever you want to call it, wave scepter. I have a Casio wave scepter. What's the other one? The multiband 6 Casio. I have a G-Shock multiband 6, and they're both solar, and they set themselves automatically. So this is a good-looking watch. This was at Costco for $349. I don't know if that was a great deal or a bad deal, but looking at the features and the Citizen website, it's a great deal if you ask me. So thanks for watching. Let me know in the comments. Have you seen this watch before? I have not seen any real reviews, like I mentioned. It's just people spinning it around while music plays. So let me know what you think, and I'll bring you a real review soon. Thanks.